This is Matt Grigsby, and you're listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com.
You are talking to a man who has laughed in the face of death, sneered at doom, and chuckled at catastrophe.
It's Doggy Time! Yeah, I know. Look, we played 2 sets, plus we brought an opening act. We packed that dump. Yeah, well, he's going to learn you do not stiff Bone Doggie. I got Hellraisers to feed. Well, he should have thought about that. Well, you could tell him he could have his pool table back when he pays us. And this front door, yes, yeah. You tell him that, okay? All right, well, I gotta go. All right, we'll talk to you later. Call me. Paws up, cats and kittens. You are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. I am your host, Bone Doggie, and for our next little spin on the whirligig of time, we are going to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, cast up arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, do a radio show. So we have that going for us. Now, we're going to jump right in, my cats and kittens, to the forefront of this madness being the operative word, and introduce this episode's special guest, because this week's special guest is indeed a special one. Not only is he the bass player for the Hickory Street Hellraisers and one half of the infamous rap duo Short Bus, he also happens to be Bone Doggie's eldest child. So let's give a warm and heartfelt howdy do to Carrick Bam Bam Coleman.
How's it going?
Hello, son. How are you?
Doing all right, all right.
Like to thank you for coming out and doing this mess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just your only child, or your eldest child, rather.
I would not say only in front of your sister.
I got episode 4, being your eldest child, but hey,
well,
we'll work with it.
There may not be a future episode if your sister gets a hold of that one. So,
I ain't scared of her.
Well, you probably should be afraid of your sister. Everybody else is. Yeah. So, anyway, I want to thank you for coming out again, and then let all you cats and kittens know that we're sitting in the studio drinking a couple shiners and smoking a pack of cigarettes and are going to expound words of wisdom for the world out there.
Or, at least try and not get the FCC on us.
Ah, that's true.
Or what is that, SOPA?
So what? There are no animals in here.
That's a whole different mess.
Oh, okay.
And you owe those guys a lot of money.
Yeah, we try not to talk about that on the air. Okay, so anyway, back to reality here. Now, this is the 4th episode of Doggy Time. And we want to give a special shout out to all our faithful cats and kittens out there who've tuned in to us on the DentonRadio.com website or taken an excursion into Blogsville at DentonRadio.blogspot.com and basically tapped into our archive of past dalliances. We've had some good shows.
Yes, we have.
We have had some very good shows, and we're praying that this is a good one as well. Many of you out there have relayed expressions of love, faith, hope, and charity regarding Doggy Time, as well as the music programming. And we just want to say a big, giant Mooch House Garcias por favor. How's that?
There's something a little wrong with your Spanish there.
Whatever. Okay. I'm
Doggie's speaking ancient Aztec right now.
Thank you very much. That's right. So all you ancient Aztecians out there.
Dead tongue and Doggie killed it.
With a gun, and then took it out in the street and ran over it a couple times. So, if you have enjoyed having your minds and imaginations, as well as your earbones, caressed by our dulcet tones, we humbly ask you to spread the gospel, cats and kittens, and tell your friends about Denton Radio and the Doggy Time Show, because...
Well, you got to support your local music, and Denton Radio, I feel like it's going to be a very good avenue for that in this town.
I think it is, too. I really do.
It makes everything accessible. You don't always have to go out to, one of the bars in town. Because the good thing about the bars in town is, I mean, there's good live music all over the place, but there's also good booze behind that bar.
That's right. It's very important to think about.
You could become a fan of a really crappy band if you drink too much of that. You know what I'm saying?
We all try to keep an open mind. That's absolutely right. But supporting Denton Radio and Denton music in general is very important because, to be honest, not only do we enjoy reaching out and touching our audience, some of you more than others, and ladies, you know who you are, but we all got bills to pay. And also the liquor cabinet over here is looking like a prison camp refugee, if you take my meaning. Anyway, yeah, we enjoy supporting the local music here, and this is all a big part of it. So do us a lemon And shoot the flare in the air, cats and kittens. Tell your friends about us and the artists you hear on DentonRadio.com. We support local, and that, of course, means you.
DentonRadio.com, what?
All right, now this week, cats and kittens, we are going to feature a singer-songwriter who's competing for the hardest working man in Denton show business title. Aside from being a regular at just about every open mic in the Northern Hemisphere, he does frequent gigs at Banter and J&J's and numerous other coffee-type shops and the occasional little bar. He's got his own music blog called My Baby Robot.
That's a great name.
I love that name. It's a great name for it. And he also has a new EP called Following, featuring his new band, My Kick Drum Heart. He is, of course, Brian Lambert. And we're going to launch this puppy into space with a little title called Didn't Want You to Want.
Didn't want you
to want.
Brian, word of advice, man. Short titles.
Short titles.
Doggie has a short attention span there.
I'm going to try this again. I didn't even write this. I actually typed this out, so we should not be having an issue here. All right, we're going to try this. We are going to launch this puppy into space with a title called Didn't Want You to Want Me. Thank you very much. All right. And you are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
I didn't want you to want me, but you might as well. And you must have your reasons, but you never will tell. And the way that you're looking says you want me tonight, and I'd just be pretending if I put up a fight. 'Cause it's all over now, baby. Your spell's been cast on me. I wasn't even looking, but now I see that you're looking through me when I can't even see myself. I didn't want you to want me, but it's too late now, and you won't even know why, and I've never asked how. At the way that you're looking says you want me tonight, and I'll just be pretending if I put up a fight. 'Cause it's all over now, baby. Your spell has been cast on me. I wasn't even looking, but now I see that you're looking through me when I can't even see myself. See myself.
That was Brian Lambert and Didn't Want You to Want Me.
I got to tell you, that that takes me back. I've been running around this town for a long time. I was there before the Tomato was a parking lot. And you know, when you had bands like Slow Roosevelt running around town,
Slow Roosevelt.
You know, a little bit of Little Bighorn, you get that kind of grungy, but also it's kind of a psychedelic thing too. But it's
kind of a psychedelic Roy Orbison grunge.
What it is it's a Denton musician not being afraid to step out of the box a little bit.
Thank you very much. Yes.
And I don't know if you're wearing skinny jeans right now, Brian Lambert, but that's a good tune, man.
Brian, stay away from the skinny jeans. Step back from the skinny jeans.
Don't do it, man. You're good enough.
Get you some leather. Grow your hair like Jim Morrison.
Do it.
That's right. All right, cats and kittens. It is now time once again for the public service portion of the program. And that, of course, would be our Musicians Free Classified.
Before we get into this, I want to say that normally, I mean, public service, I got to do something before I get wrapped into it. You know, pee in public, something like that.
Well, generally, you do something, you are afforded by the municipal facilities a public service, and you end up in the library. But this is not like that. Basically, what this is a service that we provide to our fellow musicians in Denton who are looking for bands.
So I'm not picking up any trash.
Right, you're not picking up any trash, and you do not have to sort the videotapes out on Sunday afternoon.
Best job I ever had.
Well, don't have to do that now. So what this is basically we're putting the word out. We got some buddies out there that looking for musicians and looking for situations, looking for bands. Earthshine, our dear friend Tanya Blum and David Rios, they're looking for a bass player. And you can contact them on Facebook. It's Tanya, TonyABLUM, or David, DAVIDRIOS. They are from Earthshine. They're a good rock band.
They are a very good rock band.
Good, solid rock band. And as we're doing this cutting, they're actually up at Abbey Underground tonight.
Oh, no kidding?
Yep.
And I'm stuck here with you.
And you're stuck here with me. Such is life. But, well, you could do Shiner either place, so I can't use that. So we're going to move right along.
Doggie, I drink beer at the zoo.
That's, I know. Any place, anywhere, anytime. Soul Tax, of course.
Good band.
Still, that's some of our kids. We love Soul Tax. They're looking for a bass player as well. If you feel that you can hang with Soul Tax, give Aaron Pugh a shout on Facebook.
Honestly, if you're a bass player and you're looking to, do something besides thump the root with your thumb, you actually might consider giving Soul Tax a call.
You need to hit up Soul Tax. You got to be, like I say, you got to be able to hang with these guys. They are a good band. Aaron Pugh, AARON PUGH. Also Sydney Wright and Nathan Norman. They were in the studio a couple weeks ago, and we had a blast. This is a good band.
I think that band will probably hit town in a big way once everything comes together.
They're starting to make their mark. They are starting to make their mark.
They've been around for a while, if I'm not mistaken.
A wee bit. Not as long as our next one up to the docket, and that, of course, is Jukebox Johnny T.
Personal friend, original Hellraiser.
The original guitar player for the Hickory Street Hellraisers, Jukebox Johnny T, better known as John Thomason. He's looking for a partner in crime. He's looking for somebody to do some vocals with him, and it doesn't matter whether you play upright bass or Mandy or guitar. Any kind of roots music, is Johnny Thompson will do some roots, and he'll do a wee bit of rockabilly.
Got a real heavy rockabilly feel on Johnny T. I personally like it a lot. I love me some rockabilly. That's good too.
And we do love us some Johnny T.
I love me some Johnny T. Yeah. Johnny T's a talented guy. Writes good songs.
Very good songwriter.
If you like lyrics,
yes,
you holler at Johnny T a little bit.
Yeah, this man writes songs with his tongue planted firmly in his cheek. Cats and kittens.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, he can get you going.
And a double entendre there.
A little bit, yes. And of course, Jess Thompson, our good buddy Jess Thompson, of Levi Cobb and the Big Smoke. Now, Jess is actually reforming the band, which we are very glad to hear.
Yes.
We've done a couple gigs with Levi, and Jess, he's just a great guy to play with, and he writes some great songs. This would be a band that you would love playing in. He's looking for a lineup of reliable folk-minded musicians
You ever get him on the show, you got to ask him how he came up with the name of the band. That's a great story.
I know
if I
how.
ever heard
I
one.
know that the way he came up with the name of the band is a great one. So when we have him in here, we will discuss that. He wants to put the band together. He's got another album in the works. He wants to finish out, and he wants to do some gigs. So it's JESSTHOMPSON on Facebook. Give him a shout. Tell him that Doggie sent you, and see if you can set up an audition. He's itching to do a little jamming, apparently.
You be doing yourself a favor. Levi's good jammer.
Levi's, that's a good concept. It's a good band. It's a good sound, and chances are they would end up being on the Bone Doggie bill again once it gets rolling.
So if you are a musician in this town, you can come and hit out some of these guys. These are good acts.
These are good acts.
We're not setting you up with some like low rent outfit that plays nothing but ABBA songs.
Prissy emo bands with skinny jeans and bad tennis shoes. No,
you know what? Prissy emo's got its place, man.
I know. I apologize out there to all of the prissy emo bands that I have assaulted. All right, let's keep on. If you are a musician looking for a band or a band looking for a musician, just email your heart's desire along with your phone number, email Addy, Facebook page, Reverb Nation page, Sonic Bids page, and any other pertinent information to musiciansclassified@dentonradio.com.
Hell, we're even taking you if you're on Friendster.
No, yeah, okay, probably. Or you can leave us a post on Facebook. Leave a post on the Doggy Time page, and Bone Doggie will read them out on the Doggy Time show, and hopefully we can help some of you guys hook up and make a beautiful noise out there in Doggy Land. And as always, cats and kittens, let it be known to the bone that I will not be reading out any phone numbers over the airwaves. We do not do that here. The preferred method of travel is Facebook or email. So once again, it's musiciansclassified@dentonradio.com. Can you dig that?
I can dig that.
I knew that you could. Well, Bam Bam, it is now time to put a knife to our bread and butter and serve up a smidgen of breakfast known as the gig schedule.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. This is where we spread out a little love to those venues we all frequent and you spend your money at. We let you know who's hosting who.
We need to remind you that this information was not solicited. We got it all off the internets. So if it's not exactly correct, it's not our fault.
That's right. No problem, no commitment. So, right off the bat, up at Banter, Friday, January 27th at 10 p.m., Billy Ratcliffe, our own Birdie Knoll, and of course Jess Thompson is going to be up there. And on Saturday, January 28th, 8 p.m., Mockingbird Station and Backwater Opera is going to be at Banter.
I want to go to that show.
That's a good show right there. That's a toe tapper. So what's happening at Andy's?
Andy's Bar on the 27th of January. That's a Friday. We got Mobley, Elo Minnow, Skeleton Coast, and someone TBA. And I don't know if you've ever seen TBA.
TBA is a great band. TBA, they're awesome. They play all over the country.
Man, that's like a grab bag. You ever see a show that says TBA, go to that show, because you could end up watching the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life.
And they look like anybody. They change their look all the time. It's a wonderful thing.
Saturday, January 28th, we got Blurry Vision, Meaner Demeanor, Blood Witch, and TBA.
And TBA again. I mean, they hit that place.
There's usually about a $6 to $7 cover charge over at Andy's, so be prepared for that.
Yeah,
they got good drink specials to balance it out. So
and they got a good crew over there too. We love Andy's. We spend a lot of our time.
Good sound guy.
Oh yeah, James up there. One of the few people in town that can actually handle the hell.
Fellow bass player.
I
don't know if you knew that. Yeah, fellow bass player, good bass player, as a matter of fact.
Well, maybe he should hook up with Soul Tax or one of those other guys. Seems like everybody in town's looking for a bass player.
Hey man, I'm saying we're the unsung workhorse of the industry.
All right, Dan Silverleaf, Friday, January 27th, Sarin. The doors are going to open at 9 p.m. The show will be at 10. The price is $10 in advance and $13 at the door. And then on Saturday, January 28th, This Will Destroy You and Amen Dunes are going to be up there.
I personally have never heard This Will Destroy You, but I would go see that band just because of the name.
I know what you mean. It kind of piques your interest.
What if it does destroy you?
Then you won't have to worry about paying your bar tab.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Kind of a win-win.
There you go.
All right, over at Haley's.
Wait a minute, we ain't done. This Will Destroy You at Amen Dunes if you survive the evening. Or if you have the guts to go do it. The doors open at 9 p.m. The show is at 10. That price is $12 in advance and $15 at the door. So it's a little bit more expensive to be abused.
Yeah, Dan's puts on a good show.
Great
That's
show.
A good venue.
Great
That's a
show.
good venue.
Another good sound man over there.
Very good sound man.
Jimmy's another one of the few that can actually take
Now
it.
you want to catch Jimmy after the show, though.
you do, yeah.
Jimmy's
always
a
in
great
a
sound
much better
guy,
mood.
but he gets, because he's a great sound guy, he tends to be detail oriented before the show.
He's very intense before the show, and once it's all over, he relaxes and is one of the greatest people in the world.
One of the greatest guys. So work with Jimmy. Don't give Jimmy a whole lot of hassle. Jimmy, you're in good hands with him.
Yes.
Just go with it.
Let him do his thing. All right, Haley's.
On Friday, January 27th, we have Renzo's big ass birthday showcase. That sounds awesome.
That sounds.
Doors at 9, $6 if you're over 21, $10 if you're under 21. So it's one of the few shows in town that night that's going to be all ages. So if you have not reached the golden age yet of destroying your life with alcohol, you make sure that you make it out to that show.
Oh, I hope some parents aren't listening to this.
All right. Saturday, January 28th. This is a show I would personally be at, but we're playing that night, so I have prior obligations. We got the Flame Trick Subs, Funeral Drive, and the Beer Gnomes. That's Saturday, January 28th at Haley's. Now, if you are not out listening to Doggie that night,
which you should be. That's right.
Flame Trick Subs, that's a good,
excellent,
good band. Funeral Drive, good band.
Excellent.
You're like, this is just a good all-around show. If you want to rock and drink,
that's right.
That's a good show.
That's right. I love that.
Doors open at that one, 9 p.m. About $7 if you're over 21, $9 if you're under 21. Haley's good about these all-ages shows, so go out there and don't make them regret it.
Have you seen Flame Trick Subs? If it's the same guy, Flame Trick Subs has got a bass player that does not have a left hand.
Lefty's a good bass player.
Lefty is a great bass player, and to watch him play is just amazing. He plays an upright bass with a stump.
With a stump. They're super. This is going to be a good show if you're into rock and roll, rockabilly, and more specifically psychobilly.
Well, when is the show?
That was going to be Saturday, January 28th. So you should
time?
be at Doggie. But, if you don't find yourself over that way, then make it by Haley's. The doors, like I said, open at 9 o'clock. And it's $7 if you're over, $9 if you're under.
All right. At the Abbey Underground on January 27th, 7 p.m., we got the Kerry Davis Jr. Band. And the same night at the Crossroads Bar on January 27th, this is Friday at 9 p.m., you got Mockingbird Station, and opening up for Mockingbird Station is yours truly, Bone Doggie, with Tanya Blum from Earthshine. We're going to do a little song swap before.
I'm looking forward to coming out and watching you guys at that show. I haven't been out to Crossroads yet.
Tanya
wants a good place.
Tanya wants to play some Jethro Tull, so we may actually sneak some of that.
Well, that's good because you look like Aqualone.
You're grounded.
All right. Saturday, January 28th at 9 p.m.
Say it.
At Mabel Peabody's Beauty Parlor and Chainsaw Repair Nightclub.
Say that again.
Mabel Peabody's Beauty Parlor and Chainsaw Repair Nightclub. We've been talking about names all night. I think they got everybody.
That is the greatest name. That is a great.
Okay. We got some personal friends of ours, Whiskey Tongue Burlesque, out there. It's their first anniversary special. This is one of the most talented groups of women I've ever seen. Not to mention one of the better looking in town. And they put on a great burlesque show. Burlesque is a good time. If you're just out to have fun and cut loose, that is definitely going to be a show for you. We got Tipsy Cups, Lemmy Adams, Trixie Detees, Will-O-Wisp, Ruby Manhattan, Dixie Tricks, and the incomparable Nikki Trash. never seen Nikki Trash, you got to come out and see this lady.
That's we're gonna leave it at that. You have to see Nikki Trash to believe it. She is the undoubted queen of fetish burlesque in Dallas, and she's been supporting Whiskey Tongue for a while, and it is amazing.
Again, more personal friends coming along with this show. We got Josh Sinai and the Deadpan Poets.
Oh, we love the post. You know, Dago Matt is still playing drums.
Gotta
with
love
Josh.
Dago Matt.
And Dago Matt is actually he's an honorary Hellraiser. He's done at least 3 gigs with us now. So
I bet more than that.
He's one of us. So
DJ Rhino will be keeping the party going all night long. So for the times when there's supposed to be dead air, we're gonna have some house going on. And the cover that night is only $3 if you're 21 and over, and only $5 if you're 20 and under.
And of course, finishing off the evening is
Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers. And
that's right.
We're going to show up and we're going to do our best to keep it bar tab under $500.
Yeah, we will do that, but we're still going to burn down that house.
We always do. We always do.
All right. Now, as we've been saying for the last couple weeks, Cats and Kittens, this is very important. They're having a benefit for Brother Andy Cooper up at the Center for Visual Arts. Put it on your calendar. It is Sunday, January 29th from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Again, at the Center for Visual Arts on the corner of Bell and East Hickory. Is going to feature Brave Combo, Not Quite So Hot Club, which is Andy Cooper's band. Andy, of course, will not be playing, but if I'm not mistaken, Maristella and Thad Bonduras will be holding the helm on that one, and
Gypsy Swing.
It is awesome stuff. Little Django action.
Little Django, yeah.
Some brilliant musicians in the Not So Hot Club, and like I said, I think Thad Bonduras is driving that train. Old Mr. Joe Pinson is going to be there.
Oh man, that guy writes the greatest song.
Along with Side Street Circus, David Hira. The admission is free, but the whole reason for this is it is a benefit for Andy, who suffered a stroke a few months ago now.
This is a dear friend of the Bone Doggie family.
That's right, and he's actually played with us several times. He's a brilliant clarinet player, and he has racked up one mother of a medical bill, and so basically this event is to take donations for Brother Cooper. Just go on out, have a good time, and support one of ours. I'm sure that it will be appreciated. I know that it will be appreciated here. And also, I'll let you know, we have a couple open mics in town. Of course, on Tuesday night, up at Crossroads, up there on Elm, Matt Grigsby puts on a open mic at 9 o'clock. And then, of course, on Thursday night, Banter we've been doing that open mic up there for several years. It is hosted by yours truly. The list goes up at Banter at 7 o'clock. It is usually full by 7:05, so you've got to be there and in line when the list comes out.
And don't worry, there's liquor across the street.
There's liquor across the street. Crossroads, the list goes up. It's a dry erase board. It's a murder board.
Murder board?
It's a murder board. It's a dry erase board. You go in there and you sign your name up to it. That goes up about 9 o'clock. And from what I understand, Love Shack is having an open mic on Wednesdays.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I heard about that last week. I'm still trying to verify it.
Do yourself a favor and try a burger.
Try a burger, have a beer.
And say hello to our dear friend Mike Stover.
That's right. Give a shout to Mikey Stover if he's up there. And any of these open mics, they are great fun, cats and kitties. Whether you've been playing for 10 minutes or 10 years, it's just a great thing to go out and do. So go on out there, sign up on the list, and wait.
You know, I'll tell you what, in my experience, open mic nights are really good if you're networking, if you're looking for other musicians.
It is an excellent networking place, yes. We watch whole bands be put together from open mic.
From a one-night jam where everybody went across the street too much.
Not to mention the fact that at open mics, we met Soul Tax, we met Backwater Opera, we met Mockingbird Station.
We met Immigrant Punk, we met...
Immigrant Punk,
pretty
absolutely.
much. Well, no, I mean, if you go all the way back, that's where we know Andy Cooper and Mr. Joe from.
Exactly. Jukebox Johnny T.
All from back when Banter was the Brick House. So Banter has a long history of open mic nights.
Yep.
These other venues are trying to get theirs started up, and they're not going to get started up if you're not going out there and playing. So.
That's right. So if you want to be a part of supporting Denton music, that's a great way to do it right there. All right, cats and kittens, it's time to cast the dog once again and flush out this week's featured artist. Brian Lambert, This is his tune entitled Spell for Happiness, and you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com.
All my days are coming back to me like some mean train upon the track. Come what may, I know that I could lose it all, 'cause I'll just get it back. Don't tell me lies, tell me truth that I can't handle. Give me snakes to hold and blind man I can heal. Tell me love is just imagination. Tell me that it's fate just spinning on a wheel. 'Cause all my thoughts are filled with wonder. My heart beats stronger than before. My eyes are calm and cool and bright now. And even though I have it, I want it so much more. Tell me hope is desperate inspiration, and Jesus the devil his best friend. And everywhere leads on to somewhere. Every new beginning is just a brand new end. 'Cause all my dreams are more mature now. My thoughts run, rhyming like a child. My eyes are disciplined and wild. And even though I've held it, I'm gonna hold it for a while. 'Cause I have finally seen the light. I have finally seen the light. I have finally seen all my days come running back to me like some mean train upon the track. Come what may, I know that I could lose it all, 'cause I'll just get it back. And every day is more secure now. Bells ring everywhere I go, and all I see is filled with gladness. And even when I have it, I probably will not know. 'Cause I have finally seen the light. I have finally seen the light. I have finally seen the light.
All right, cats and kittens, that was Brian Lambert and Spell for Happiness.
It's good stuff.
That's good, very good stuff there. Now, we're going to have a little interview with Bam Bam. And I guess, first of all, we could start. What got you into bass guitar?
Well, I wanted to play drums. Not even going to lie, I really wanted to play drums. But you live in a house with 3 other people, and they don't necessarily want you to play drums. Especially, they really don't want you learning how to play drums.
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You got to qualify that.
So, I was a natural-born hellraiser. Let's just say that. I spent a lot of time on the disciplinary side.
Can leave it at that. Leave it at that, yes.
You got me a bass guitar for my birthday 2 days after I got grounded for a year.
Little old Fender Squire.
Little old Fender Squire. It's a black Fender Precision bass. I love that thing. Weighed about 500 pounds. It had a neck on it. Just, oh man, the neck on that thing went on for days.
It was a lovely neck.
Loved it. Loved that bass. And so I had nothing to do but sit around in my room and listen to old Primus and Nirvana albums and learn bass. Well, I mean, like I said, wanted to play drums. Even thought about dabbling in guitar, and Dad said, "No, bass. I need a bass player."
Really? So necessity is the mother of invention.
Apparently it is.
Yes.
Man.
Now you come from a long line of bass players.
I do. I don't know if any of y'all know that out there in Doggie land, but Doggie himself is actually quite an accomplished bass player.
Yeah, thank you.
Big prog rocker back in his day. In fact, if any of y'all on special request, I got pictures of Bone Doggie wearing leopard spandex and mastodon bell bottoms and stuff.
With big hair.
He used to have a rat tail, midriff shirts, the whole nine.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that.
All right.
But your grandfather was a bass player as well.
Granddad was a bass player. I come from a long line of pickers. Both my granddads were pickers.
Yep, that's true. Your great-grandfather on your grandfather's side was a clarinet player in jazz bands.
Ah.
And also, there is rumors that he drove a Union truck during Prohibition in Kansas City.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, that's right. Little Al Capone action there. So the apple has not fallen far from the tree, I guess you could say.
Oh, no, that would be implying that I'm within organized crime.
and now you did go through, the standard garage band thing while you were in high school.
I did.
I
I did a lot of metal. I did a lot of punk.
But then when you started actually playing out, you ended up playing with me and your uncle. So you basically started your performing career with a pack of old guys.
Yeah, with the exception of a couple of high school gigs. Yeah, it was mostly guys that were 20, 30 years older than I was.
Yeah. So that's
which I actually find it raises you up a little bit because these guys know what they're doing. They've been doing it for years.
Right.
And when you're trying to develop your style, it's good to play with people that are better than you because it raises your bar.
Absolutely it does, and you did get to pick with some older guys, and I think that was a huge benefit.
Also, I'll tell you what, being the only 20-something-year-old guy on that stage makes you the prettiest dude in the room.
Second prettiest child, and the case is still the same. Anyway, this is a subject that was actually brought up by a friend of ours, our videographer, Evan Clinton. Valhalla, good old Val. He did a short documentary on this subject, Playing with Family.
Yes, our good friend Evan Clinton did a little biopic documentary thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually made me look at it again, just playing with family, playing with older guys and everything like that. And it really got me to thinking, when you're playing with family, you guys almost already start off on the same page.
You have kind of a natural rhythm that goes along. It's just kind of an inbred, for lack of a better expression, rhythm.
Yeah.
That is the same page type thing.
Well, music flows in your blood. It just does.
It does. And you and I have played together for 1,000 years, and you also got to play with your uncle.
I've been in this band for 10 years. I got something to say. Bone Doggie, I think you owe me some money.
I'm sure that I have paid you your money. Let's see. I'll go back and start digging up the receipts from your childhood.
Well,
and my son, I did keep them. So we can go back and look and see how much. I bet. So anyway, we have been doing this for 10 years together. You were on the ground floor of the Hickory Street Hellraisers and have managed to survive this entire time.
I have. I've been here since the very first day.
Yeah.
It's before the first day. We did, like he said earlier...
Corporate Pint with your uncle.
We did Corporate Pint with my uncle, and we were in that band for 2 years?
Not quite 2 years, about a year and a half. About a year and a half that we did that. And
well, if you ever hear the Bone Doggie close with Thrill Is Gone, which we tend to do every now and then because it's a good barn burner, that version of it was a Corporate Pint too.
Exactly. We've been playing that song for nigh on 12 years
12 years now, yeah.
So one of these days we're going to get it down.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Maybe so. All right. Well, Bam Bam, you, of course, are on the CD, the Bone Doggie CD, Little Bar in Texas. Why don't you pick a tune?
You know what I think I'm going to go with? I'm going to, for the spirit of the evening, because we're having a couple shiners and chain smoking cigarettes, I think we're going to go ahead and do I Love Jesus.
I Love Jesus, because I drinks a little bit. So,
but basically the meaning of this song is that nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
And I may be a little rough around the edges, but that don't make me evil.
Not perfect, just forgiven.
We're going to do I Love Jesus, but I drinks a little bit.
From the CD, A Little Bar in Texas. And you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. I'm a sinner, and sometime I'm a saint. Say I can, then I find out I can't. Well, I walk the straight and narrow, then I fall off the track. I got an angel in my pocket, got a devil on my back, you know it's true. Well, I stand on the corner, just preaching the word. Lying in the gutter, got a voice can't be heard. Out in the sunshine, out in the rain. In and out and back and forth and up and down again. Well, I ain't a perfect soul, it's true. What's a body supposed to do? If it wasn't for the grace of God, I'd go insane. I love Jesus, but I drink a little bit. I love Jesus, but I drink a little bit. You know I got me redemption, but sometimes I forget. I love Jesus, but I drink a little bit. Ha! Sometime I'm a saint. I say that I can't, then I find out I can't. Well, Jesus picked me up every time I fall down. Must be aggravating every time he turn around. Well, I ain't a perfect soul, it's true. What's a body supposed to do? If it wasn't for the grace of God, I'd go insane. I love Jesus, but I drink a little bit. I love Jesus, but I drink a little bit. You know I got me redemption, but sometimes I forget. I love Jesus, but I drink a little bit. I love Jesus, but I drink a little bit. I love Jesus, but I drink a little bit. You know I got me redemption, but sometimes I forget. I love Jesus, but I drink a little bit. All right. All right, I love Jesus, but I drinks a little bit. Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers off the CD, A Little Bar in Texas. I do too. It's a great one to play. It's just a blast.
That one, I love the crowd reaction.
They get into it.
Yeah, they do. They
get into it.
Once you actually understand the meaning of the song, and you just, I don't know, it makes sense to everybody. It's one of those universal message songs.
It kind of is. Now, Bam Bam, aside from the Hellraisers, you are also involved with a rap group.
Yeah. Well, there's a country group on there too, but
it's still you and Stanton Brasher. Yeah, that's right. Alpha Dog. Good old Alpha Dog.
Stan Brasher's a friend of mine in town. Very talented performer in his own right. Good guy. Love him. Love his
great
family.
guy.
Known him forever.
Yep.
And we came up with the idea a while back that why don't we do shows where we act like retarded rappers that escaped from the state school. And I couldn't think of one reason to say no.
Temptation was standing right at your doorstep.
I was like, I could do a lot with that. And it's a lot more clever than it sounds like it would be.
It is very clever. You guys do some good stuff.
We've got some good producers behind us to give us some good beats.
Where do you get
things
your
like
beats?
that. We used to get them from Ghost.
Right.
Bone Doggie and Hickory Street Hellraisers,
The lead
very
guitar
own
player
Ghost.
from the Hickory Street Hellraisers. That's right.
And we've got a guy out in Amarillo that Stanton's been working with for years now, named DJ Slowpoke.
How does that work? I mean, do you give him an idea and he just does the mixes and send them back?
Well,
or?
there's a certain internet site out there that I won't plug because they're not paying me to.
All right.
But
Fair is fair.
Yeah, what you can do is he can drop music in a folder for us, almost in a box, wink,
Right.
that he can send out to us, and then we tell him, kind of what we're looking for in a track, and he
Right.
kind of works with it that way.
So he sends you what he has, and you edit it per se. Basically, give him the
Yeah.
idea of what you're looking for, and then he goes back and reworks it.
Exactly.
Oh.
Hip hop's it's kind of a new thing to me, but it's been a real wild experience because of the nature of it. It's canned music.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, your onstage timing has to be on.
You would have to.
You can't
You would
miss a
have- yeah,
cue.
exactly.
It's not even an option. And then, like I said, you can pull music from sources way out of your capability in any normal band situation.
Right.
Like we have one guy from Detroit that did a beat for us
Mm-hmm.
and sent it down through this dropped box program that I'm not going to mention.
Okay.
.com.
So we're not going to talk about droppedbox.com. Yeah, actually, we all have Dropbox. So.
I know we all have Dropbox,
Yeah.
but they're not paying me. It's the same reason I don't wear a McDonald's t-shirt. But yeah, and then from Short Bus spawned Double Wide.
Double wide is hysterical.
They are Short Bus's cousins from Tennessee,
Hee-haw.
and they play some straight good old honky tonk with such killer tunes as Oh Meth and Is It Racist to Love America? So if y'all ever see Short Bus on the bill, you should come in. You're in for a time.
And do be advised by Cats and Kittens that they are funny, they are witty, they are also incredibly vulgar.
We are pretty vulgar.
You are pretty vulgar, which sometimes makes it even more funny.
But
So
as I
don't
like
take
to put it, we are impeccably vulgar.
impeccably vulgar. I like
We're not vulgar for vulgar's sake. We're
So-
vulgar because it's funny.
If you do go out to see Short Bus or Double Wide, just keep in mind, don't take the kids.
CPS has no sense of humor.
That's right. And speaking of good old Alpha Dog, he has now started a project in which almost the entire family is involved with.
Alpha Dog has gotten together with a good friend of his named Drew Mack. He's a very talented actor. I've seen him a couple of times. You even came up to me. We saw that show, She Stoops to Conquer, up at TW.
Yes.
He was in that show along with Stanton, and these guys have just been kind of on the local theater scene.
Stanton is also involved in the theater at TWU.
Yeah, I Bam Bam am kind of getting a little more involved in that side of things.
Very nice.
It's a lot of fun.
Very nice.
But these two guys got together and decided that they were going to make an animated project. It's still in its early stages, so I can't talk a whole lot about what it is. But I went out and I read for a part, and a lot of other people in town auditioned. And there's going to be a few locals that are in there on the cast and everything. Basically, it's just a funny little show about a bunch of people trying to clean up somebody else's mess. It's called All the King's Men.
And it's an animated stop animation.
What they're
cartoon.
doing, it's stop animation. What they're doing is they're taking pictures of the scenes and then animating over it. There was a cartoon came out a while back called Tom Goes to Mayor.
Right.
That sort of serves as the inspiration.
Oh, okay,
It will not be a Tom Goes to Mayor ripoff.
Right.
But it is inspired by that style of animation.
And your sister, who is the other only child in the family, she is involved in the animation.
She is, as is Bone Doggie
As
here.
is Bone Doggie, I'm going to be involved in the animation as well. So it's going to be an interesting little project. We really can't wait to see what's going to come of it.
Yeah, like I said, it's in its very early stages, but keep a lookout for All the King's Men. That is, the Bone Doggie family is pretty heavily involved in that project.
Well, we've known Stanton and them for a long time, and
it's good. If you find a good project, you get.
You got to jump on it
got to.
with both feet. I'm right.
Don't ever let opportunity pass you by.
Awesome. Well, Bam Bam, I really appreciate you coming out and doing this mess tonight.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Let's pick one more tune from a little bar in Texas. What do you want to hear?
All right, you want to go way back with me now?
Oh yeah.
All right, we're gonna go way back. We're gonna do a song that we used to do back with Brother Johnny T in a living room off Hickory Street,
which is where the Hellraisers were born. Yeah.
This is one of the first original Bone Doggie tunes he ever brought to a band.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We're gonna do My Blue Shoes. I love this tune. It's a great tune, and it actually holds some sentimental value. So I hope y'all enjoy it as much as we do.
All right. Well, without further ado, then we are going to give you My Blue Shoes from the CD A Little Bar in Texas, and you are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com. Picky about who's paying them bills, you know what I mean? Can you dig it? I knew that you could. Well, I'll saunter in the joint, be moving kind of slow, trying not to get noticed, pretending I don't know. I'll order up something fashionable and strike me of a pose. Nondescript, incredibly hip, ready for a show. Well, I'm strutting like a rooster, my high tail's on. $40 suit, I just got out of the pawn. Pull out all the trim and so you can't go wrong. Get up your door for a crown and your blue shoes on. Get your blue shoes on. Get your blue shoes on. Hear about them blue shoes, go ahead and play it. Talk to 'em, Ghost. It's doggy time. Smoking big cigars, drinking up all the brew. Smoky-colored women, they making a deal or two. Well, old Cadillac Bill's a place to do it right. If you want to take it to heaven on a Saturday night, well, you can strut like a rooster, get your high tails on. $40 suit, just got out of the pawn. Pull out all the trim and so you can't go wrong. Get up the door for a crowd as your blue shoes on. Get 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 your blue shoes on. They're walking in them blue shoes. Put your blue shoes on.
Oh, yeah, man. I love that song.
Well, cats and kittens, this has been a rather successful venture. And Bam Bam, I feel like we have exhausted the fuel supply for this particular journey and happily found ourselves stranded in front of a sorority house next to a liquor store.
Good old I Felt a Thigh.
There you go. Well, once again, thank you so much for doing this. I
Thanks
really
for
appreciate
having
it.
me. Had a
All
great
right.
time.
And for those of you out there in listening land, we'd like to invite you to keep listening to DentonRadio.com and tune in for a new Doggy Time show next week. And if you want to listen to Doggy Time anytime, go to DentonRadio.blogspot.com, where you can get more news and information about DentonRadio.com, and you can also listen to past episodes of Doggy Time. And you can also find DentonRadio.com on Facebook, of course. You can go in there and drop us a line. Let us know that you're listening. Let us know that you like the show.
Hell,
And
poke us.
and poke. Don't poke. Nobody knows how to work the poke. Okay, nobody has figured out how to do the poke thing. So
It's
just
there for a reason. That's
just-
all I'm saying.
just put a post on the wall like everybody else, and spread a little gospel, my cats and kittens. Tell your friends and loved ones about Denton Radio and Doggy Time show. So anyway, we're going to go out now with some music from our good friend Thomas Charles Paisler.
You know, I'm going to tell you what, that guy's mustache makes a hell of a cup of coffee.
I'm telling you, that is a powerful mustache. And he's got a group called Vita Brevis, and their tune called Glittering Lights.
This should be good. I've heard Thomas play before. He's a talented cat.
It's good stuff right here. So we're going to float off into the stratosphere now, and you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could.
Discontented in the dark.